of demonstrating mastery of particular skills or knowledge. The word exam is derived from the Latin word examine, meaning a test or an act of examining. The term examination comes from the Latin word examinare, which means to examine closely, to scrutinize, or to inspect. They are usually time tests given in one sitting. Exams can be written or oral and takes place in a wide variety of educational settings. Some exams include written exams that use paper and pencil, while some of them use technologies such as computers, where we use the softwares where we have to work along with the examination softwares and answer the questions. Then you have the oral exams such as those used in speech competitions. Then you have some performance examinations where it will be testing your skills such as the piano recitals, dance recitals, or the vocal recitals. There are some studio art examinations such as painting and drawing. Studying for professional exams is not easy. Study for professional exam is no joke. It takes a lot of time and effort to get high marks in studies. Sometimes it can be difficult to maintain motivation, especially when you're studying for a long time or long hours. Procrastination is one of the biggest challenges faced by students in general. And a major reason for this is that there may be no clear sense of how the subject being studied well and what is the purpose of the subject and whether this particular subject will really help them in the future to achieve their goals. Without such clarity, it becomes difficult to stay motivated for long hours. In addition to the long hours of studying, students are also required to take part-time jobs or internships in order to make the ends meet. This makes it difficult for them to focus on their studies, and they may not be able to study as much as they want. A recent study has per the scanned people's brain at different points in their work. They found a high demand task which require intense, constant concentration can be leading to buildup of a potentially toxic chemical called glutamate. Normally, it used to send signals from nerve cells in large quantities. Normally, this glutamate alters the performance of a brain region involved in planning and decision making. The lateral prefrontal cortex, which we call LPFC, lateral prefrontal cortex. Science has shown time again that mental fatigue, as we have the physical fatigue. Suppose you go for a gym and you do a physical workout for long hours. Say you do a long stretch for say 3 to 4 hours. You may feel good for the first time. If you start doing it regularly, you feel a little bit of fatigue. Fatigue creeps up and you feel the muscle pain. The same way you go for working and reading along with your subjects. It becomes a little bit mental fatigue, and that has a real effect. To overcome this, we have several techniques which is available in the study platforms. The very simple technique which has been followed universally is the Pomodoro technique. It is a powerful time management strategy to help you to achieve more. It's been used by some of the most successful people in the world to get more done in less time. That is, more done in less time. Here how it works. You set an alarm for 25 minutes, focused on what needs to be done and succeeding in any challenge, and take a 5 minutes break. Repeat it until you have achieved your goal. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method developed in the 1980s by Francesco Cirillo. It is designed to help people focus on a task by breaking it down into 25-minute intervals separated by short breaks. Now, this interval or the intermittent break that you have, you can extend it for 30 minutes or the 45 minutes or 55 minutes. It is up to you how you have to break the long hours into intermittent timing. This will really improve your productivity. Then second technique that we comes to is a very famous one, mind mapping, right? Mind maps are a way to organize your thoughts and ideas in a visual way. They are especially helpful when studying because they make it easier to organize information and find connections between different concepts. A mind map is created by drawing a central image or idea or word. Suppose I say that you want to know something on the financial services. So just draw a single idea within a center of the page. Then from that financial services, you can see the parts. So financial services, then you have financial markets where that could be the one branch of the main word or the main idea. Then from the financial markets, you can divide that into money market and primary market. Primary market or secondary market. That is one more branch from the further ideas. So this will really help you out in recalling the subjects properly. From there, each branch of the mind map corresponds to a new idea or thought about the central concept. It can be drawn on a paper or using one of many software programs that have mind mapping capabilities. The key to creating an effective mind map is filling out all the branches as you go along so that your brain does not forget anything important. Then comes the technique 3, critical thinking. It is a way of looking at information and making decisions based on that information. It involves using your own mind to figure out things out instead of just blindly accepting what you are being told. One way to improve your critical thinking skills is to read textbooks with a critical eye. When you are reading a textbook or any other piece of article or writing, ask yourself questions like, does this make sense? Or what evidence does the author have for this claim? Or what are the counter arguments? So blindly don't accept whatever the text which is given. How could I test the idea, or how could I test the assumptions, whether the assumption taken by the author is right or wrong? So you have several possible sources where you can do a retest of an assumption which is given by an author in a textbook, or it could be an article where it could be a news where you hear news and you start making an assumption that should be more critical enough, where you have to test those assumptions and you have to consider that as a belief. By constantly asking these kinds of questions, you will train your brain to think more critically. So don't stretch yourself to long hours of study, say from at a stretch 8 hours to 10 hours instead. Instead, you intermittently break the long hours into chunks, combining all 3 techniques, that is your Pomodoro, mind mapping and critical thinking for your productive study for exams. Lot more to come. Share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.